think we're live, but might have to turn like this. Hey everyone, it's Matthew. This is MattTv. As you can see, back safe and sound in White Rock, British Columbia. It's windy out. There's actually a weather advisory. We'll talk about that, and we're just gonna hang out. Zoro and I just thought we'd come in here and chill out just for a few minutes. Just thought I would do a show like 12 minutes ago. 4 o'clock, yes, 8 o'clock. So this is just a little, an appetizer for those that watch the Nightcap with Brent and Patty. So this, I just wrote this within the last 12 minutes. This is chronological order, the thoughts that came to my head. But this is pretty much, as you know, anyone who's watched MattTv, this is just observations, things that have happened in my life, and I try and make them relatable to you, yes? Sandy, welcome to the broadcast. Kim, hello. Okay, so let's start right from the beginning. We'll just treat this, thank you, Sandy. Just an unbelievable day today. Unbelievable. The drive was epic coming back from Rossland, which is 600 some kilometers east of here. I'm going to tell you all about that. So if you want to hang out for a few moments, you're more than welcome to do so. For those that don't know, this is Zoro. Huh, buddy? Z-O-R-O, just one R, because he's small. He's so small he doesn't get two R's. But he's been on the show many times. You're hanging out, bud? I love you so much. He had a good barkathon when I came home. I've been away since Monday, so he used up his bark quota for the weekend. The weekend. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay. So as long as he's comfortable and you're comfortable, I always appreciate the live views, but if you're watching this at your leisure, I appreciate that as well, yeah? Okay, so currently 13 degrees. Let's talk about the weather. 13 degrees. Beautiful, absolutely stellar, magnificent weather. If you want to see what the weather is going to be like here on the West Coast, go to my personal Facebook page. I put a link up. They're calling for mostly sun, probably chilly at night because the clouds disappear and the heat escapes. But we're looking at beautiful sunshine here on the West Coast into early November. Yeah! Woohoo! Love it. Oh, I love you too, buddy. So currently, but there is a wind advisory. Really strong winds here today on the South Coast. I know the lower mainland for sure is getting hit by these winds, but I'm not going to complain too much because it's not hurricane force winds, but it is gusty. It could gust up to 80 kilometers, but the winds will probably die down here within the next few hours. But beautiful sunshine here on the South Coast. Stellar, stellar, stellar. 7 degrees and clouds according to the AccuWeather forecast in the Woodstock area. Is that correct? Currently 7 degrees, cloudy, and mostly, or you'll see some sun tomorrow. I think you'll see sun tomorrow and 10 degrees. All right. Carolyn, welcome to the broadcast. Okay, now this is where it gets fun. Feel free to leave comments as you so choose. Yep, you might even be able to. The leaves are just blowing all over the backyard. I'll do a little quick video after this. Dude Meadows is actually becoming green once again. The Green Mile. Green Mile. That's something you might want to see if you like. You want to see one or two classic, I guess, Halloween type shows. I would suggest that. The Green Mile. Stephen King. Anything by Stephen King. It's gonna be creepy. Okay. So Monday I left here. We all know what Monday was. Monday was the election. But I had to drive to Rossland, British Columbia, and I'm just getting back here this afternoon. Pouring rain. It rained all day. I did not hear the sound of rain off the windshield for the entire drive. But turning to snow at one point, Paulson Summit. We put snow tires on the truck before I left, and they were needed because for me it was the first time driving in extreme winter conditions on mountain passes ever, really, for any length of time. But then when I got into Rossland, the snow was gone. So it was just the elevation. You go through these mountain passes and the summits, it's always just a spectacular work week in Rossland. I just had the opportunity, because what I'm doing, I may need to get into people's homes to do the computer work that I'm doing. So you're just introduced to all these different people and some great stories. I had a conversation with the guy, I think it was yesterday morning. We got talking about, he said that he once lived in Squamish, and then he was living in Whistler, and he was telling me about his experience at the Olympics, because he was in Whistler Village, man. So we just traded these Olympic stories back and forth, and it just makes the hair on your arm stand up, because when you relive those moments, I was just so fortunate and lucky enough to be a part, just a volunteer. I shouldn't say just a volunteer, because if it wasn't for volunteers, it wouldn't have been very smooth, yeah? Oh, you want to go in? If there's anything you want to say to Zoro, he'll take comments for the next 2 minutes. But he's nice and cozy in here. He's nice and cozy. What else did I want to talk about? Just a stellar week. In Rossland, getting back here this afternoon. So I might as well tie this right in with my drive home this morning. I left Rossland about 7 o'clock this morning. Actually, it was 7:06. 7:06 when I got on the highway and started making my westbound journey back here on the south coast. And I saw a ram. The only wildlife I saw, unfortunately, there was some deer that didn't make it safely across the road, but this ram was probably 20 yards off the side of the highway, just kind of standing there chilling out in the early morning hours. Just a beautiful drive, long stretches of just gorgeous fall scenery, and the colors were just spectacular, and the drive back was obviously way better than it was on the way up, because the clouds were gone. It was just a beautiful sunny day. Okay, so Monday. I know I'm just kind of jumping around, but it all makes sense. It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie. It'll all make sense at the end. So I'm driving in the pouring rain all day Monday. I got into the motel room about 7:15, 7:20, and I had voted that morning, and I wanted to get and see some of the coverage. And by the time I walked into the motel room, the CBC News and their panel was breaking news that there was going to be a liberal minority government. So without getting into any big political spiel, what are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts on the way things turned out, how Canada spoke on this past election? And you feel free to leave comments if you so choose. But while I was up there, this was great baseball. The Washington Nationals are putting on a clinic. They're putting on a clinic in the 2019 World Series, taking the first 2 games in Houston convincingly. That game last night was just, not last night, but Wednesday night, was just a dominant performance. I don't think there's a pitcher right now. Right now, it looks like it doesn't matter what ace Houston puts on the mound, they cannot stop the hitters of the Washington Nationals / the Expos of back in the day. So a lot of people, a lot of Canadians, a lot of people from Montreal cheering for the Washington Nationals, or not. Maybe they're still bitter because they left, 20,000 years ago. I know that's an exaggeration of time. I get it. Quick thoughts on this. I don't know, I haven't really thought about it too much. Maybe we can think about it together. Let's think about it together. Have you seen the size and the just enormous rings that the Toronto Raptors were gifted with? What are your thoughts on those rings? To me, I think they're just one-upping someone else. Last year, someone had like a big ring, and they're like, you know what? We're going to have a bigger ring. So they just one-upped them. I think that's all they're doing. But if you want to leave, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the Toronto Raptors 2019 NBA champ rings? Ring a bell? Okay. Leaving this morning, beautiful sunrise. I stopped in a Soyuz and had coffee with a former manager, which was awesome. I just absolutely loved that guy. It was so cool. A Soyuz, a beautiful drive into a Soyuz, and absolutely, I give today's drive, even though it was like 8 hours long, I give it an A+. To infinity and beyond. Beautiful. But I did incur some weather. But the most beautiful I saw today, on this 25th day of October 2019, I can honestly say that today I saw the most magnificent, brilliant, just stellar rainbow And I was seeing it because of the roads are so twisty, and I was seeing it from different angles. And at one point, it was in the rearview mirror, another rearview mirror story. Emily, welcome to the broadcast. I hope you're still hanging out. But it was, like I said, it was the most brilliant, colorful rainbow I have ever seen in my life. And you think about it, I'll be 47 in January. I could have been anywhere. I could have been anywhere on that stretch of road at any given time. But I was there this morning to witness that. It was, I just couldn't believe it. That's why I'm talking about it right now, because it was so awesome. Sue, welcome to the broadcast. How are you? Wildlife. I told you about the ram. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. I just wanted to come in here real quick. I thought maybe I'd give you a little tee up for the nightcap. Coming up at 5 o'clock, I believe. I want to see how many consecutive shows they have done. Brent and Patty Underhill have been doing the Friday nightcap for months. And I'm going to tune in tonight because at 5 o'clock I'll be here. Okay, someone was trying to call me. Even though I had all the settings so no one would call me, the phone still rang and interrupted the show. Well, I love you too, buddy. I do. Want to go inside? What? Whoa, what's going on, man? That's another cool thing about, this job that I was up in Rossland for the week. Not just getting to meet the people, but getting to meet their pets as well. Like this one cat just followed me right into this lady's house, and then she couldn't get him out. And dogs like chocolate labs and just different purebreds, and the scenery is beautiful. You almost ready to go in, bud? Okay, it's Friday afternoon. It's absolutely stellar. The weather's going to be nice. There's a baseball game coming on here. The Game 3 of the World Series from Washington, and they're going to be going bonkers. They're going to be going bonkers there. I don't want to see a sweep. I know Houston is better. Than what they're playing right now. But there needs to be more productiveness. Right now there's only maybe 2 guys that are being productive. And like I said, Jeff Larson, welcome to the broadcast. The way Washington is hitting the ball right now, they're just in a zone. The way Washington is hitting the ball, I don't think it matters what go-to guy or what ace gets on the mound. They're going to be in trouble, and they're going to be in trouble early. If Houston doesn't figure this out halfway through this game, it'll be over. If Washington wins tonight, and they very well could, they got 3 games. They only got to win 2 more. But the 4th is the hardest. So they say. Okay, thanks for the live views. Have yourself a great Friday night. I will be back in here Monday morning, 6:30. Back to the huge, man. Oi. Want to go inside? Oh, yeah, he likes that. You can go inside now. Okay, everybody. Have yourself a great night. This is Matthew and Zoro. MattTv. Coast to coast, baby.